Hello friends, and welcome to Cat Scratch Kitchen. If you've been craving the classic creamy and zesty Olive Garden lemon cream cake, you already know the bad news. It's off the menu. It's a tragedy, but that just means we have to take matters into our own hands. Today, I'm sharing my absolute best copycat recipe. We're going to nail that light, fluffy cake, perfect the tangy lemon filling, and recreate that famous buttery crumb topping. You'll be able to enjoy this classic dessert whenever you want. No trip to the restaurant required. So grab your apron and let's get started. We're going to start out by preheating our oven to 350 degrees. Then we'll prepare our pan. I have a 9-inch springform pan. I've sprayed the bottom and cut out a parchment paper and lined the bottom. Now I'm going to spray the entire pan with some non-stick spray, and we'll set it aside until we're ready for it. Okay, I'm going to use my mixer with the whisk attachment because I want the cake to be nice and light and airy. I'm using a French vanilla cake mix. You can use any white or yellow cake mix you like. We're going to add that to our bowl. Then we're going to add 1.25 cups of water, 1/3 cup of oil, vegetable oil or canola oil, just something really neutral. And we're pretty much following the instructions on the back of the box, except instead of using whole eggs, we're going to use just egg whites, just to continue making this nice and light and fluffy. So I have 3 large egg whites. Now we're just going to whisk it together until it's nice and smooth. And now we're just going to pour it in our prepared pan. Now we're going to put our pan in our preheated oven for about 45 to 50 minutes or until a toothpick inserted in the middle comes out clean. Okay, while we're waiting for our cake to cook, we're going to go ahead and put together our crumb topping. And I've got 1/4 cup of flour, 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, 2 tablespoons of butter that's softened and cut into smaller pieces. I've got like 8 pieces here, just to make it easier to mix up. And then we need 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. Now I'm just going to push it together with a fork until it's nice and crumbly and all mixed together. And this is the crumb topping. It's actually the crumb side that goes around our lemon cream cake. I want to mix together all of that flour and sugar with that butter so that it almost sticks together. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Now I'm just going to cover it and stick it in the fridge until we need it later. Okay, our cake's come out of the oven, and I'm going to put it on a wire rack. We're going to let it sit here for 20 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll let it rest on the rack for another 2 hours because we want it completely cool. Okay, our cake is cooled, and I've sliced it in half. It's easier if you let it cool and then maybe even set it in the fridge for a minute to let it get really cold. It's easier to slice that way. I'm going to set that aside, and we're going to make the filling. Okay, we're going to start out with 1 cup of heavy cream, and we want to whip this to stiff peaks. We don't want to make butter, but we do want it in stiff peaks. Okay, at this point, we've got some soft peaks, so we've got a little ways further to go. Okay, now you can see we have stiff peaks. We're going to set this aside, and we're going to put together the rest of our filling, and then we'll be folding this back in. Now for the rest of our filling, I need 8 ounces of mascarpone cheese, or you can use cream cheese softened, 2 cups of confectioner's sugar. I've got 3 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice, the zest of 1 lemon. We're going to beat this on medium speed until it's nice and smooth. Now we're going to fold in our whipped cream. We're just going to fold it in, try and keep it nice and fluffy. Okay, I'm going to keep aside a half a cup for the sides of our cake. And the rest of it's going to go in the middle. Put on the top of our cake. And we're going to use this half cup just to go around the sides. Okay, I have our crumb that we made earlier and put in the fridge. And I'm just going to take that and put it along the sides, and we'll clean up our mess later. And the last step is we're going to take a tablespoon of confectioner's sugar and just sprinkle it over the top. Now it's ready to go.